Here's the unemployment choo-choo. All right, Jeff. Another edition of the Chew, and there is a lot to get to this week. We were kind of thrown for a loop the other day because we found out that Stedman Graham, whose birthday was the other day, who Oprah didn't acknowledge, ended up fucking John Tesh, and I mean, it just put a whole nother level on this relationship cake.
Yeah, she spreads a Tesh, and she was very willing, and Tesh took advantage of it. I mean, he just came in and he ripped off that leather jacket. At the time, in the 70s, it was probably pleather, but it didn't matter to him because he was going to get a taster, and he did it.
Well, and this kind of leads me into this other discussion of things that are absolutely just terrible, or at least that used to be, that now are kind of cool. Do you have any opinions? So let me start this over. Do you have any opinions about the show Mad About You?
With
Paul
Hunt?
Yeah, Paul Reiser.
And Paul Reiser.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I watched the show. It's not a show that goes down in the annals of history as something spectacular. Take it or leave it.
I started watching after Coming to America 2, which we'll get into a little bit later. I started watching some Amazon originals. And I said, oh, this is interesting, Mad About You. I remember watching Mad About You in the Lifetime block. It was 2 nannies, 2 Mad About Yous, 2 Golden Girls, 2 Unsolved Mysteries, lunch. I mean, just like that. Just straight up. 2 nannies, 2 Mad About You, 2 Golden Girls, 2 Unsolved Mysteries, lunch.
Yeah, I mean, it was the early 90s.
Yeah.
It was on for a little while, so.
The thing is I never liked that show. I loved the gals. I loved the nanny. Didn't really like Designing Women, but I could take it or leave it. Didn't understand Mad About You. So I'm like, you know what? I'm an older man now. Let me use my intellect. Let me see what the brouhaha was about.
Right.
So they recreated Mad About You for 2020, and the kid's going off to college. And I have to tell you, I'm in on Mad About You. First off, the coffee shop jazz music at the beginning gets you hooked. And then the you know what? It's a lot like Frasier to me. It's deep humor. It's intellectual humor. And I don't know. Maybe you've seen this, maybe you haven't, but I got to throw out a big recommendation. If you're a big-time fan of awesome shit like Frasier and just intellectual good stuff, you're going to want to get yourself a Heapin' Helpin' of Mad About You, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah, Heapin' Helpin'.
Yes.
You know what they do with every sitcom that should just stay buried? What they attempt to do is they bring it back, and, it's always the older version of the show. Like this one's the parents, like they did with Full House. They tried to do with Boy Meets World. That was a total flop.
Yeah, that was a flop.
Topanga Kids, right?
They did Saved by the Bell. That sucked.
Yeah. This show, I mean, what was it? I mean, it was just a couple living in New York City, and it was the trials and tribulations of life. Well, yeah,
but I think the humor, he was like a Jewish man. She was like a yuppie, if you remember that term, young urban professional in, the 90s. That was a big term, the yuppies. And, I think that, it just showed how they evolved from these, these 2 different worlds to make one happy life. And then it shows the raising of their kid, and then bam, they're off to college and they're empty nesters again. I got to tell you, it's worth a watch. It is the closest thing to Dr. Crane that I have seen in a long time, and I do not say that lightly. And again, we will get into Dr. Crane because that is coming back in a couple minutes, but it's close.
Yeah. Let me tell you, if you were not, unemployed for a year and going on, okay, while other radio shows go on and play sound effects, would you really sit there and pick up that show?
Mad About You? Yeah, I would.
Would that be something that you really seek out?
Well, no.
Do you think it's just because you have so much free time on your hands?
Well, I told you I didn't seek it out. What I did was I said to myself, Coming to America, it was We'll also talk about that. I mean, did you see that at all, by the way? Coming to America, the second one?
No, I did not get to see it yet. No.
Look, it's not as... I mean, obviously, everyone wanted to live up to 30 years of hype. That's not going to happen. It was funny. It was good. You know, it was a fun movie.
You saw a lot of people writing about it on Facebook.
Right.
They were not happy with it. Well, but you know what you do? You can't...
The man's 65 years old. The movie is older. Do you know that movie is older than me?
Look, it is hard to live up to any kind of hype. So if it was like something as bad and general and bland, like a saltine cracker like Frasier, you know, so when that would come back or he's attempting, I think they're going to stick him on Paramount Plus Channel 15.
Well, if you're talking about the elite streaming service, Paramount, yes, for sure. He's obviously deserving.
Yeah, so that's going to be a flop and a fail because that's pretty much been his love life, everything else in his life, and nobody's going to care about that show, you know. And I think Paramount Plus will look into that probably 2-3 episodes and go, we're losing subscribers. What do we do here?
Well, you know what? They've gained one. I just signed up for Paramount Plus, and I am paying the $14.99 a month just for Frasier. And they will see a lot of people. Now, here's the thing. I love how you take a discussion, and instead of being an adult, a man, you use it to berate art that you're not capable of being close to. And we started talking about Mad About You. And if you really want to talk about reboots that work and don't work, okay, yes, the ones that you named at the beginning, the Saved by the Bells, the stuff, the Full House, yes, but there is a difference. It's about the talent of the actors and the writing. The momentum from Cheers, there was huge expectations. Do you know that Frasier Crane actually, as a show, outlasted the original show that it spun off of? It was better. It was better. And that was because of the ability of Dr. Crane. That was because of the writing. That was because of Niles. That was because of John Mahoney. That was because of little Eddie, the little dog. That was because of Daphne Moon. That was because of Roz. And they're going to bring that same cast back. And this is one of the few actual thingamajiggers that I think will actually work. They don't have a lot, but it will. I think it will.
Do you believe these words that are coming out of your mouth? I want to know. Do you? I know that you have always wanted to be like a shock jock in your life, right?
I love sound. Yeah, if I've always wanted to play fart sounds for no reason in the middle of just regular talking. You're right.
So do you really, really believe that all the stuff that you're saying is coming out of your mouth?
I would bet my relationship with my mom on it.
Oh, boy.
I am telling you that I am so confident. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, let's go even further because you brought it up. And for the people listening, I apologize, but you're going to have to understand why we're doing this. So there was a person who is in our business. So, for example, if you're in I don't even know, human resources, like the Tony Robbins guru of that business. There was a guru in our business who did write an article and said that he believes that Frasier Crane could save our business, Jeff. And how you can't even be... I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
Oh. He said that Frasier Crane could save our business. And this is a well-respected man in this business. And he thinks that Frasier... Okay. You know what? I'm going to just stop until you grow the fuck up. Okay. That's fine. You can be that way. But you know it's true. That's why you're doing it.
No, I don't know that to be the case.
You don't... I sent you the article. Did you read it?
Come on. I saw Frasier and I said, forget it. I'm not wasting my time reading that.
Really? I thought... I was gonna, you know what, dude? Fuck you. Here's the unemployment choo-choo. All right, Jeff, we had to take a break because you were being a fucking baby.
Oh, boy. Why? I was playing sound effects that really get under your skin, chap your ass there.
Yeah, that really grinds my gears.
All
right, so we took a break. I think we're cool. But there is something that I do want to talk about. And, again, All I know is that Frasier will be coming out. We'll have plenty more opportunities to talk about Frasier, so I'm not going to push it this time. But I do want to push this. I do want to push this coming to America thing because, I mean, a lot of people seem to really be pissed off about it, and I don't understand why. Like, what's the big... What were they expecting? Like, do they think it's going to be any better than the first? Of course it's not going to be better than Eddie Murphy in his prime, dude.
No, and everybody's so much older. So you wonder why they redo some of those things sometimes, you know?
Well, I started watching, and again, I started watching these other early 80s Eddie Murphy movies for the first time in a while. Like, I've seen 48 Hours. I've seen...
Rotten Tomatoes has given it, 2.5 stars. It's bad.
And that's probably just because it's Eddie Murphy and they like him. I mean, it wasn't... Look, I didn't like throwing in, Leslie Jones and Tracy Morgan just because. I mean, I get the whole... There's a reason for it, and I get the reason. I don't know, man.
Leslie Jones, fresh off of Supermarket Sweep fame... Okay.
Yeah, how is that going, by the way?
Is it still on? I don't know.
I don't think it's still on. But Leslie Jones, you're right off of Supermarket Sweep fame. Like I said, it was a cute movie. It was a reminiscing. It was one of those fun ones. But people get all... people are being pissy about this movie. And I just don't Look, if you look at some of the movies that he was in... have you seen 48 Hours?
Yes, of course. It was just on, actually.
On TV?
It was on the telly, yeah.
Okay. Well, I've been watching it on Amazon Prime, so it wasn't edited. That movie, it was a different time. You can tell. They really Nick Nolte was its character was a fervent racist. Yeah. Nolte was getting away with a lot of stuff. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But and you even in Coming to America, there's obviously we're in the woke society today, which whatever you can take or leave. But I mean, it's so much different, and so my thought is how can they expect them to make the same kind of movie like that? Even the barbershop scene that everyone loved in Coming to America. If you look at the first one, they talk about some stuff that you could never talk about today. And, I'll
tell you what, you're becoming a real Siskal and Ebert at the moment.
I'm becoming, I am. I'm a Siskal.
Do you feel more like Gene Siskal? I mean, who do you feel like here? Roger Ebert? Which one are you?
Here's the thing. It's tough. Siskel's been dead a while. I've lost my connection with Siskal, but Ebert doesn't have a mouth. Okay. And so because of the fact that he has no mouth, I have to say I'm Siskal. I can't be a dude with no mouth. I don't respect a guy with no mouth.
So you can't be all teeth, is what you're saying.
I can't be all teeth.
You can't have all the teeth. Okay, all right.
All right. Have you ever seen Family Guy?
Yes, I've seen Family Guy.
He's Glenn Quagmire. He's all teeth.
Okay, but listen, he's always smiling, I guess, right?
No, he's surgically unable to not smile.
Well, if you look at there's pictures of him, it always looks basically like a smile.
Yeah, but did you see him before?
Yes, I've seen him before.
Okay.
He was a little rotund.
Okay, and now he's rail thin and has no mouth.
Well, it's there. It's just,
No, he does. I don't. I think his jaw is almost detachable.
Is it at this point?
I think it's a fiberglass jaw.
Well, he's dead. So what's the difference?
Oh, is he dead too?
Yeah.
Ebert?
Yeah, in 2013. So, all right.
Ebert's been dead for 8 years.
So you're pissing on a man's grave here, okay? And the guy, and you know what?
I always fucking hated Ebert too. I really did. He was such a smug son of a bitch. And then who is Roper, by the way? Who is this guy, Roper?
And you're taunting this man as he's on his deathbed. But you know what? If I'm looking at pictures of him, okay?
Yeah, look at him.
Okay, yes, maybe he's all teeth.
He's got no mouth.
Yes, maybe he just looks like he's constantly making an O face. But it doesn't. But at the end of the day, he was a smiling, happy man through it all.
Okay, but let me ask you something. He really died in 2013?
Yeah, 70 years old.